So after an entire summer of hibernating, my old faithful, my original riding mower with my wrapped graphics here, starts but then smokes a ton, you know, oil smoke. And then after it runs for a bit with smoke, it quits. A lot of oil comes out of here. And then once it runs for a while, it'll quit. Any of you guys know what's up? Because I'm thinking maybe my something's blown. You see that? This is at high throttle. I'm just going to shut it off. I think it's something major inside. I've never actually encountered that. You know, me, Mr. Mechanic. But you guys are the experts. I know I got experts out there. Anyway, let me know what you think. See you guys later. So after posting my little video on Instagram and asking my buddies if they know what could be wrong with this, had one guy who told me to try running it with the air cleaner off. So, you know, at the time I did try that, but everything seemed to be okay. But I didn't really check closely that what was in there was actually not fuel. It looked like fuel, but when I stuck my finger in there, it was actually oil and fuel, which is what causes that. So I'm thinking that my float needle is stuck, because during the summer when I was hibernating, I didn't drain my gas. I had fuel inside the bowl. So what happens is during the time that it's been sitting, it gums up, because as you guys know, gas is 10% ethanol. Ethanol gums up. So if it gums up right around the seat and needle area, it will not have a good seal. So therefore, fuel continuously runs into the reservoir here, overflows in the carburetor, trickles down into the through the intake manifold into the combustion chamber, into the crankcase. So that's how I knew that this was my problem, because when I checked my oil, and I just did an oil change before I put it away, it there's the full line, which is where I, you know, obviously, you know, filled it up to when I did the oil change. But now it's actually up to here. See? So all this, there's like 2 liters of fuel in there. And I did remember filling this to at least halfway. And it's empty now. So all this gas has gone into the crankcase. So I'm sort of, you know, happy, because this is an easy fix. I mean, easy in terms of a mechanic saying it's easy, but so basically I'm just going to take the carburetor off and clean it, and once that's done, I'm going to clean this, because there's some fuel, oil residue in here. And then once I've done that, I'm going to drain the fuel, drain the gas. Jesus Christ, it is early. I'm going to drain the Earl, fill it up with fresh Earl. That's how they used to say oil in the olden days. And replace the air filter. And that ought to do it after I put gas in it. Anyway, so I'm going to do that now. So the first thing we do is disconnect the fuel line. It was a pain to take off. This hose is new, so it was really rubbery. It really mounted on there well. Didn't even really need these clamps. So I figured since I'm doing this, and this is my own personal mower, right? I'm gonna go fancy. I'm gonna put a see-through gas filter on there, and I'm gonna add a fuel cutoff switch so this doesn't happen again. Just turn the switch off, run it until it burns up all the fuel in here, then you're good for storage. So there you go. And I'll zip tie that right there. I'm going to take that off here. Remove those. There's one right here. Breather tube. Like I said, I cleaned this carburetor before I put it out for the winter. So this just some more bolts there. You know what I find is that I'm more careful with my personal equipment than I am with equipment that I'm flipping. That's just natural because you know that this is going to be yours and you're keeping this for your own use. You take extra attention with the stuff that is yours. That's just natural, you know what I'm saying? Ideally, you want to be this careful with everything you do. Anyway, so make sure you take a picture of the linkage. Hole to the right, first hole on the left for the choke. This is for the throttle. Remember, the little one, the little wire goes into this little one. It's kind of obvious, but it's better to take a picture anyway. I like to just lay that there nice and gently and hope that you don't touch it or push it, because you don't want this stuff to go all over the place. This choke area thing, it's just floating there. It's just sitting there. So bowl's pretty clean. Carburetor's very clean. I don't see any evidence of any gunk in either the seat area or the emulsion tube area. Float's clean. Needle's clean. So why would the fuel go through that? Plot thickens. So I just really went over this again. Much cleaner now. I even got these crevices here with the wire brush just to get that clear. People ask me why I don't wear gloves. I used to, but you know, gloves, there's something about it. I know you other mechanics out there know what I'm talking about. You just get a better feel of things and you work better with your bare hands, you know. Just wash your hands, and you know, you're on this life for you're in this world for one life, right? And yeah, as long as you don't have a hand modeling career, it's fine. I like to get dirty. And clean that out a little bit. Just to be thorough, as long as I have this open, and I know it's clean, but like I said, it's your own stuff. So I'm going to take the emulsion tube jet out. You should only use one of these carburetor tools, because it's such a very thin head, you know. This way it'll prevent you from, not prevent, but it'll help you to lessen the possibility of slipping that bolt. It's made out of brass, so it's very, very delicate. So I was really careful in getting this out. And even being careful, some grains of brass that came off. See, it's very sensitive. So, you know, that's a little dirty. Holes look okay, but if you can look in the light, there is residue buildup there, you know? Everything's got to be shiny and smooth, and see, the holes could be blocked up. See, you could see through one of them, but then the other one doesn't really, you can't really see through it. I mean, this all matters in how it runs, you know? So we're going to get a wire and stick it through the holes and get that off. That look much better? Alright, so I gotta tell you, this is one of the cleanest carburetor jobs I've done. Almost use a whole can of carb cleaner on here. But it's got a lot of holes, you know. Even really small ones inside here, you know, along the wall. I'm going to put it all back together now. So I got it back together again. I'm pretty confident that this is going to work well. And I know it's seating correctly because when you have it like that, right, and you blow into it, you can blow into it, you know, with some pressure. But then when the fuel fills up the bowl, pushes the float, needle goes up and seats, you're assuming the float is closing it like that. So you flip it upside down and now you blow into it. And you can't. So I'm going to put this back now. So everything's back on again. The new fuel line with the new fuel filter and the fuel cutoff, which I've shut it off. Okay, down is off. Linkage is correct because you know that this is the choke and the flap is closed when you're at choke on the throttle, right there. And when you pull it back to high throttle, that's where it's fully open. There you go. So, I'm gonna fill it with some fuel and see if it leaks. So, that wasn't fun. I put fuel in it and gas poured out of here. This cutoff switch is a piece of junk. Leaks all over the place. It's busted. So now I gotta go find a hose because if I take that out, it won't reach the carburetor because I already cut it. See what I'm saying? Well, 2 fuel filters is better than 1. So this is gravity fed, and as you can see, it is free flowing now. And so far, no leaks in the carburetor. At least, what I could tell. So, on to the oil change. I'm going to leave that off for now. So I don't need to tell you how messy an oil change could be. It is going to be messy, so not that my driveway is any brand spanking new or anything, but you want to kind of prevent as much as possible. Anyway, so this is the reservoir. You just basically loosen this nut and drain all the oil. In this case, we're going to see way more than it's supposed to because it's filled with tons of gas. And you're going to get a canister to contain all that. So I have like a container I took from my neighbor's garbage. Hey man, whatever works, right? This doesn't have to be too tight. has threads in it, Teflon tape on it. So here it comes. Should be a lot of stuff. Look at that. Look how watery that is. It's all gas, man. Look at that. All gas. And Earl. It's like water. Terrible. Yep, and it's making a mess, just like I said. Damn it. Don't lose that. Look at that. Just dripping in the back there. There's got to be a better way, man. Look at the design here, man. Why don't they just like have a little spout that's sharp right here, you know, so it comes out. Honestly, the engineers. While you're in this area, you may as well clean up a bit. So I wipe that stuff down so it's not all oily and yucky. So now you have to. There's still some oil and gas in the chamber, so try to use your hands and turn it. I can't do it with one hand. And to get the remaining fuel out of the engine. Some came out, but not much at all. I'm going to put this back, tighten it, and fill a few ounces and recheck the dipstick to make sure you're at levels. So we got some 5W30 here, which is almost equivalent to SAE 30, which is recommended for small engines. So I'm just going to pour like, I think I remember it's at least 1.5 quarts for these engines, but I'll just do like 3/4 quart first and then check the levels. So got it to right about full, exactly full actually. And then some of it will go into the chamber and you just add it later. But I'm going to try to start this now. I'm sure there's going to be lots of smoke. That was good. So I let it run for about 3 minutes or so after it burned off all the oil in the muffler. Smooth now, man. Lower the idle a little, see? It's all the way back. Still running too fast. So anyway, looks like I fixed it pretty well. And all it was the carburetor needed cleaning. And gave it an oil change.
I might have to make sure before I store it for next winter to drain all the gas. That way we won't have any problems. Anyway, see you guys next time. Mowers and blowers.